Trump must be destroyed. That's not justice. That's fixation. And fixation is dangerous. The FBI falsified emails to spy on Trump's campaign. The CIA signed off on a lie to protect Joe Biden days before the 2020 election 51 times. Big tech silenced the Hunter Biden laptop story, not because it was false, but because it was true. Back in the days when Rome was still a republic, before emperors and golden laurels, there was a man named Cato the Elder. He was a hard man, he was unbending, plain-spoken, and about as subtle as a fist through a drum. Cato believed Rome had one mortal enemy, and that was Carthage. Now, Carthage wasn't invading at the time. It wasn't even at war with Rome, well, anymore. But Cato didn't care. He had seen way too much, so every single time he got up to speak, whether the Senate was talking about bridges or taxes or roads or fish markets, he would end with the same words. Carthago delenda est. Carthage must be destroyed. It didn't matter what the topic was. It always ended with that. Not because it made sense, but because it satisfied a fixation. Fast forward 2,000 years later, the hair is a little bluer, the robe's a little tighter and shorter, but the obsession is the same. Only now the enemy's name isn't Carthage, it's Donald Trump, or Donaldo Trumpo in Latin. We've reached the point in this country where entire institutions, ones that used to pride themselves on neutrality and trust, have reduced themselves to one mission: destroy one man at all costs. The justice system, the intelligence community, the legacy media, academia, corporate boardrooms, social media censors, all marching in lockstep to the same tired chant. Trump must be destroyed. That's not justice. That's fixation. And fixation is dangerous. The FBI falsified emails to spy on Trump's campaign. The CIA signed off on a lie to protect Joe Biden days before the 2020 election 51 times. Big tech silenced the Hunter Biden laptop story, not because it was false, but because it was true. Prosecutors have dusted off decades-old misdemeanors, warped them into felonies, and stacked charges so high they could block out the sun. His home was raided over documents that a mad librarian said needed to be reshelved. Meanwhile, Joe Biden had classified files next to his Corvette and in his garage. Nobody seemed to care. And Obama, he's on the precipice of being charged with treason. I won't hold my breath, and neither should you. Every court case, every gag order, every leak to the press, it's not about upholding the law. It's about making Trump unelectable, even though he can't be elected, but they say he wants to, whatever. The people cheering the loudest don't realize that when you burn the Constitution to get to your opponent, you're left with ashes and a fire that doesn't stop burning. You don't have to love Trump. That's not the point. The point is that once you start bending the rules to punish someone, and especially since you hate them, there's no limit to how far you'll go or how far others will take it after you're gone. This is why they call him Adolf Hitler. And do you think this ends with Trump? Tell that to the parents who were called domestic terrorists for just questioning school boards. Tell that to Catholic churches surveilled by the FBI. Tell that to pro-life activists whose homes were raided at dawn while rapists walk free. And yes, all rapists should go to prison if they're actually convicted. Tell it to the J6 grandma. Tell it to the BLM rioters who burned down city blocks and then got Nike endorsements. This isn't justice. This is political warfare disguised as righteousness. But it never stays disguised for long. History shows us what happens next. Take the French Revolution. It started with idealism and liberty, equality, fraternity. The people rose up and heads rolled. And then more heads rolled, until even the revolutionaries were getting marched to the guillotine by the same mobs they created. Robespierre, the man who built the machine, was eaten by it. Stalin purged the very party that put him in power. Mao turned on his own revolutionaries in the Cultural Revolution. When vengeance replaces law, when fear replaces debate, and when ideology replaces truth, it doesn't end with justice. It ends with silence. The kind of silence you hear in broken cities where the rule of law has collapsed. The kind of silence you feel in nations that used to believe in freedom, but traded it away for the temporary high of punishing their political enemies. Sounds familiar. What the left is doing to Trump isn't just unprecedented. It's suicidal. Because power used this way never ends well. And when they're done tearing him down, what's left to hold the rest of us up? The media won't save you. They help build this. The courts won't stop it. They're in on it. And the politicians won't confess. They're too busy writing history with crayons and erasers. But you know who can stop it? You. The American citizen, the voter, the quiet majority who watched Rome being insulted and said, not this time. The ones who know what happens when a republic forgets its values and trades moral high ground for political hit jobs. Trump may be their obsession, but truth should be yours. Because Cato got what he wanted. Carthage was destroyed in the end. But Rome never recovered. It gained revenge and lost her soul. Lest that be a lesson. Before you cheer another's indictment, another mugshot, another gag order, ask yourself the following question. When they're done destroying him, who do you think they'll come for next? And what will be left of the country you thought you were saving to begin with? The price of silence is always paid in freedom, and not just in the blood of tyrants. Thanks for watching. See you tonight at 7 o'clock. It's myself and Olivia. We have the con, and maybe Amy too. I don't know. I'll let you know. Talk to you then.